everyone, it's Rachel Lust, and I thought today I would bring you along to meal prep with me. Now, I don't meal prep every single meal, I just try to do some main meals and some snacks, sometimes some breakfast, so I will show you guys what I did this time. First, we're going to start off with some snacks. So I really like to have berries, nuts, and then some savoury snacks as well. So I'm grabbing some blueberries, then I'm grabbing some fresh strawberries, and I'm also going to grab a handful of cashews. Now, I meal prep for both Bo and I. Our snacks are the same size, but our main meals are different sizes, so I'll show you what I do when it comes to that. So now for my savoury snacks, I'm also grabbing some carrot sticks and some celery. With meal prepping, you don't have to prep every single thing. Like for you, it might be more convenient to just prep the ingredients and then you can go and cook the ingredients just to save you some time. Here I'm just popping my oven onto 220 Celsius and I'm gonna bake some vegetables. So I'm just cutting up some beans and then I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna cut up some carrots. Now, with all my meal prep, I kind of just wing it. I used to measure and weigh everything, but I sort of know how much we need to eat now because I've done it so often. So now I'm popping in some potatoes that are covered in parsley, and then I've got my beans that I cut up earlier. I'm popping some carrots into the tray as well, and then I'll be putting some corn in there. So with meal prepping, it's super convenient because I'm always pretty busy, and so it means that I can save time later on and the meals are already ready for me to eat. So I'll pop that into the oven for about 20 minutes. While it's cooking, I'm just going to cut up some broccoli because the broccoli doesn't take as long to cook, and then I go and pop that in about the halfway point, so 20 minutes through. While the vegetables are cooking again, I'm putting on some brown rice for a different meal that I'm putting together. So I'm making a curry. You can use fresh chickpeas, but I just find it easier to use the canned ones. So I've got 2 cans of chickpeas, a can of lentils, then I'm adding in some spices, so chili, curry powder, turmeric, and cayenne pepper. I just add these to taste. I don't even measure it anymore. You might find it easiest if you're just doing a teaspoon or 2, but I kind of just chuck in however much I like. And then I'm also going to add in a can of coconut cream. And then I'm going to put that on the stovetop on about a medium to low heat. And I've also sliced up some red onion to put in there. Now this isn't what we eat all the time. For a separate meal again, this one's going with the roast veggies. I'm just chopping up some chicken and I'm going to put that with some cayenne pepper and some paprika. Then my vegetables were done, so I'm just pulling them out of the oven. So that's my roast veggies. And then just making sure you're stirring the curry every now and again. So I'm just serving the roast veggies out now. So yeah, this was just what we were eating on these particular days. I was just making enough for about 2.5 days food, really. And this wasn't everything that we ate. This was just what I felt like meal prepping. So now I do different servings for Bo and I. I only have a tiny little bit of meat, about 100 grams, and Bo does have a bit more. Just stirring the rice. With your brown rice, you're going to want to cook it for about 40 minutes, and I like to add in extra water partway through just to get it nice and fluffy. So there's our roast meals at the back, and then down the front we've got the rice, and I'm going to put the curry in with that. And then later on, I forgot to film it, but later on I also went and I added in some frozen vegetables to go with that too. So just serving up the curry now. And then as another little snack, I wanted to make some protein bars. So I'm just mashing up 4 bananas. I hate doing this. Try and get really, really ripe bananas. Then I'm adding in a teaspoon of cinnamon. I'll add in a teaspoon of vanilla. I just chucked in a whole heap of chia seeds. Then I did half a cup of a protein powder. This one is caramel flavor and it's a giant protein. I really like it. Then I ended up adding in a 1.5 cups of shredded oats and just mixing that all up really, really well. I lined this little tray with some coconut oil. Now my oven was left on from before, so I turned it down a little bit to about 200 degrees Celsius. And I'm just scooping in the mix there, and then I'm going to pop it in the oven for about 20 minutes. I think I left them in for. Now I'm prepping some breakfast, so I had half a cup of oats. Bo has a whole cup. Then for myself, I have 1/8 of a cup of coconut, and he has about 1/4 of a cup. and then I went and poured in more coconut cream, and I'm adding in some berries, and you just leave these in the fridge. I have a recipe similar. I think I made a video, like a breakfast video. It's kind of like the parfait one, and it's just really, really convenient for the mornings. So to show which meals are mine, I put a little black sticker on the container, so that way when they're sitting in the fridge, I know whose is whose. That's the little protein bites when they're done, and this was all our food. So this will probably last us 2 and a bit days, and then we have extra snacks on top of that. I don't meal prep everything because some things you need to have fresh, but this is just what I felt like doing for those days. If you like this video, if you want more meal prep videos, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!